If you can do your federal time first, that's when they wrap it together.
Okay.
So you got to give the feds their time first. Then the feds will consider if they're going to run a state with it. Usually they do.
Yeah.
Now it's hard to go backwards.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the feds feel like, they're top dog, they're big dogs, so you get them out the way first. Versus state is the little people because they don't have the big charges like the federal does. Yeah.
So assuming I'm wondering, will he do federal time in the state of Minnesota or will they ship him out?
Hello, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shu. I'm Nina.
And I am Sade.
And today we will be discussing the Dereck Chauvin sentencing, the sentencing date, and how much time we think that he should get, or what he's expected to get, or what he's expected not to get.
Right. But, okay, so we're going to start off. So, sentencing is June 25th.
Right.
That is a Wednesday. Okay. And I'm assuming it's the morning time, so we will be shooting it live that morning.
Yeah, that
Instagram
morning.
And YouTube. So please follow us that day. And we'll make sure we put all the handles down at the end of our story here.
Right.
Right now we're all thinking about what prison will he enter. So as I was thinking about that, I was thinking like, you think he's gonna go to St. Cloud intake? Because usually everybody goes to St. Cloud for intake.
Right.
But right now, waiting on sentencing, he is at Oak Park Heights. He's being held at the MCF Oak Park Heights facility, which is a maximum facility, level 5.
Wow.
Yes. And
that's for mass murderers?
Yeah, a lot of infamous murderers have been in that prison.
Okay.
And I guess they put him in there so he could be away from GP. Because they have an administrative control unit where they can watch him, make sure he don't commit suicide, and just keep a lookout on him, and other inmates won't get close to him. Because it is a 23-hour, 24-hour lockup facility.
Right.
So I guess they only come out for certain things, showers, and it's very controlled movement.
Yeah, what is it, 21 hours a day or 23 hours a day? So he gets out for 1 hour a day.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes. And as I said, it's a level 5 max. And the next prison I would think he may go into would be, depending on the sentence, how much time, Stillwater, which is a level 4.
Okay.
Yeah. But what's so unique about Oak Park Heights, the way it was built, because if you go past there, you wouldn't think it was a prison because it's kind of underground. Right. You see a big old basketball court and a fence around the basketball court, and that's basically it. Yeah, because it's really there. Really shaped funny, and and I'm like, how do they get sunlight? I wouldn't. Yeah, sounds scary. How do they get sunlight, or if they do get sunlight, maybe they only get the sunlight when they go outside on the basketball court, right? Something like that. And that prison was built in 1982. Designed. The way it's designed is like I said, it's unique. It's different. Everything is made of steel in there. You can't break nothing. Wow. Nothing. You can't break a thing. It's steel. It's scary. That
has to be scary. That just seems like it's real cold, real like death waiting to happen, and real depressing. I bet
you can't even escape from there. It has no escape record at all from that prison. So as I was researching, I was thinking, I'm like, what? So many infamous criminals have lived in that prison. So I'm going to go back to one that I heard of years ago. The Weeping Voice Killer. It was funny because I remember his voice.
Right. He's did time in
He did. Yeah, his name was Paul Michael Stephanie.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And what was the crime that he committed?
I can't. I think he was killing a lot of women, and then he'll cry about it, weep about it.
Okay. So he was sorry afterwards.
Yeah, I think he was that type of person. So he passed on in 1998.
That's aggressive. Yeah. He passed away in 1998.
Yes.
And I don't know whether to say thank God or what was him and his family, but wow, you did horrific crimes. So. Okay.
And Mike Prophet, known as the Worth Park Killer. Okay. You know about that one.
Yeah, he killed prostitutes.
Wow.
Yeah, and actually, my daughter, when she was like 5 years old, 4 years old, she found, she was outside playing by Oak Park, right? Mm-hmm. And in the like back of it, there was a body. And she's like, Mommy, I seen a lady. She didn't know what was going on. I seen a lady and she looked frozen. Mm-hmm. It was summertime.
Really? And how old was she?
She was like 4 or 5. She was like, she's frozen. I said, what do you mean? She was like, and I looked in the back and I seen a black garbage bag and I did see something sticking out of it. She was like, the lady's hands were like, one were placed like she was clawing and had her hand up like to protect. So it looked like she was frozen with the look of someone hurting her, right? Mm-hmm. So that was her last stance when she died. Wow. Was she was stuck with her hands up in front of her face, like up in the air. I don't know. Maybe she could have been trying to get out of the garbage bag. I don't know. But wow. Yeah, he was killing prostitutes. Wow. All up and down the north side. Yeah.
Yes. Another one that rung to me because I was in prison. Mm-hmm. Well, I went to prison. I met the young lady, Tina, mm-hmm. and she was a guard back in her time before doing prison time, and she was dating a guy named Darnell Smith. Darnell Smith is right now is in Oak Park Heights, right. And he is known to be a violent person. Yeah. So did
she go with him?
I think they had some intimate relationship going on, but then she knew Bobby Holder. Okay. And Bobby Holder, all of them he was pretty known, both Darnell as well in the community, and I'm assuming Darnell wanted her to. I guess wanted to stick him up or vice versa. He was thinking he was trying to stick him up, Mm-hmm. But somehow they got Bobby into the house. And Darnell and 3 other guys, his brother and another another guy, killed him. I don't know what they killed him with or whatever, but mm-hmm. me watching the news, it was very... brutal because they dismembered his body. Mm-hmm. And right now today they have not found his head or his limbs. Oh my God. They did find his torso, so that's how they was able to convict all 4 of them of that crime. Mm-hmm. And I think the torso was found on her family's farm in Wisconsin, some parts of bordering Wisconsin and Minnesota. Yeah.
She helped
get rid of the body. Her and another guy. So they got the less time. One got 48 months. Because I think he was like 30 years old. He got 48 months and she got 17 years because it was like she led him to his death. Bobby. So, I'm like, you still can't. This man had a funeral with no head, no legs, no arms. What happened to that body?
I don't know. That's sad.
And from court documents, it says she told the courts that they dismembered, threw the body, the arms and stuff out on Interstate 35. So wow. What happened to that after that, we don't know. But yeah, so that is a maximum facility, and it is some crucial.
Yeah, that sounds pretty harsh. Yes. I know. I was just reading here up on Dereck Chauvin, and it just states that he was married. And then he got his wife filed for divorce 5 days after George Floyd was murdered. And then she was granted her divorce in February of this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it says the couple married in 2010 and have no children together. It doesn't say if he has any more, which I understand that's for the safety of their families, which I'm wondering at the time. I know when, like with the protests and things that we were doing, people were saying that he had kids. So somebody in the household has some children.
Right.
Maybe she had her own, he has his own, but it doesn't speak of any children
together,
in which the children didn't do anything. So that's better for, us to not know that, I guess.
Exactly.
As far as the wife, I guess she saw this early on. For her to just go, what do you think about that? For her to just go immediately and file for divorce 5 days after. Because at that time, was he even in custody yet? When did he go into custody?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me take a look at that. When did he go into custody? Because
I think she did that because to save property, the severance of property. But I'm thinking.
So you think it's fake?
Kind of, sort of.
And tell me why, because you're a married woman.
So when you're married, you own everything together. So when someone comes to sue you, they're suing both of y'all. It's no way around it. But in a wrongful death, they could attack the home,
the wife,
and their assets. So I don't know if she saved the assets or not, because the crime happened and then she divorced. It still might be able to be under attack, which she still could try and fight it. But I'm not sure. It's like 50-50. But then another note, she probably divorced him because she knows the stuff he's been doing. 2010, they only been married 10 years, and she's been seeing a lot of problems with him because they are bringing up another case that he had with a teenage boy,
14-year-old.
That he did too. So
yeah, he knelt on that child's neck. And I'm trying to figure out how come he hadn't been in jail already for that.
Exactly.
You kneeled on a child's neck. There's really never an excuse for that.
Right.
Why are you kneeling on a child?
So she might have been her wit's end with him on that anyway. 10 years, that's not, it's some time together, but it's enough time to either make or break the couple.
That's sad, and it's definitely, that's what they did. It states that he was in custody. He went into he doesn't state when he actually went into custody. He was released from jail, posting $1 million bond. Yeah. Okay.
So he might have went in and got out in a couple hours.
No. He did some time. It just says Wednesday in October. So he was probably, from the looks of it, he went into custody in like a week later. I remember that. I remember that. So he went into custody in June, and he's got out October 7th. Oh, okay. So he was out from October 7th to till April 21st. Okay. When they convicted, charged him. Convicted him on, guilty charges. So he's been out and about, living, doing, kicking it, and now with him being in custody, now he's looking at the details of what he's faced with for what he's really done, regardless of the fact of him being a police officer. Let's exclude that, because not to say there's not any good police officers, because we need police officers, right? Yeah. Just for the mere fact that all this time Minneapolis has allowed him to get away with what he's doing and what he done, right? That's where it's wrong at, right? That's where it seems as though the sentence should be higher, because he didn't deserve to even be in the position that he was in, especially we pay him to protect us. And so now it's just his own karma coming back, basically. Not to even go into a whole big thing about it. It's his karma coming back. You knelt on a child's neck. Mm-hmm. Like, why aren't you under the jail for that too?
So did the child pass away, or?
I think that the child is still alive because it didn't say murder. Okay. It said he has federal charges coming against him on a civil and charges, right? Mm-hmm. The civil court came at him as well. Okay. Because of what he did to the 14-year-old child. Yeah. So
we have 11 men facilities, prison facilities for men here. So I think it depends on how much time he gets. He may or may not stay still in Oak Park Heights.
Right. You're right.
Because if they give him a 15-year sentence, 12-year sentence, I mean, he might end up going to Rush City, something like that. Okay,
Rush City. What do you know?
I think
that's what level that is.
I think that's a level 2, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. 2 and 3. I know. It's probably a 3.
Okay. Yeah, he wore an orange prison shirt for the federal. See, for federal, there's for newbies, right? Orange is for newbies. Okay. And for, like, high risk.
So, wait a minute. So,
he
even
just
though he
appeared
got
on a Wednesday for a federal court for federal court video conference. At Minnesota's maximum security in Oak Park Heights. Okay. But on federal charges, right?
So, assuming the federal charges overcompensate the state, he would probably go do federal time first and then come back and do the state, because usually they don't run those both concurrent. They boxcar those charges.
Well, usually how it goes is if you can get the federal first. If you can do your federal time first, that's when they wrap it together. Okay. So you got to give the feds their time first. Then the feds will consider if they're going to run a state with it. Usually they do. Yeah. Now it's hard to go backwards. Exactly. Yeah, because the feds feel like, they're top dog, they're big dogs, so you get them out the way first. Versus state is the little people because they don't have the big charges like the federal does. Yeah.
So assuming I'm wondering, will he do federal time in the state of Minnesota, or will they ship him out?
Well, it's kind of seems as though,
because what federal prisons do we have in Minnesota?
Oh, we don't have any max. Yeah, we have a camp and we have a medium low. No, we have a low. Wisconsin has a medium. Okay. Right? So they're not even a high, they're a 4. They're federal, so they're higher than the one that's in Wisconsin, right? It's higher than what is it?
Sandstone?
No, Sandstone's here in Minnesota. Wisconsin is let's see. Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's
Wisconsin is
because he can be shipped around a couple different places.
Wisconsin prison is Oxford, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Oxford, Wisconsin, and I know a couple people that did time in there. Oxford is medium. You're gonna be fenced up. There's no escaping, none of that, right? But he wouldn't go there. He wouldn't go there for what he did to the 14-year-old. Right. He wouldn't go there. He would do time in because of what he did. He'd probably stay in the Oak Park. Okay. Yeah. He'd probably stay in Oak Park. Is there any other things, any other circumstances that would mitigate his sentence in any way that you think?
Not really.
Like, outside of him being a police officer. What else really has he done? There's nothing in his jacket that's come out and said... There's not one person that has come out and said, oh, he's a good person because he did this, that, and the third, or he used to do that. Like, everybody that talked about him was basically discussed how crappy he was. There was nobody to even get up there and give a character witness for him. Like, wow, what kind of person was he?
Right. I don't even think he even brought any friends up to even
There wasn't not a friend that him. One. The one Asian lady. Yeah. That was it.
So I don't think, he may not have wanted that anyway, you know, for fear of backlash.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, only time will tell. We'll be able to follow along and be outside with everyone else. I know it's going to be hundreds of people outside that day.
Yeah.
Of court.
Yeah, because everybody wants to see the fate of him. Mm-hmm. In some form, you know?
Yes.
Definitely. I know I do. Mm-hmm. I would like to see what's going to happen. I hope that, I'm not no attorney or anything. I'm just, you know, a part of the community trying to do my due diligence with our podcast. And that's why we're speaking of current news, what's in the news, what's currently going on. We hope that we're touching everything on points and keeping you guys informed. You know, our slogan is to keep you currently informed. Or currently, that's what's going on still a year later, George Floyd. That's like the big thing going on outside of, what do you think comparative to the recent events of the children that been shot, the 3 kids that been shot all in their head in North Minneapolis? Some people say conspiracy theory. They feel like it's the police. They feel like the police is making it look like it's the African American community doing all this shooting and, you know, making it bigger than what it is. Do you think that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I know this. I know just from the community coming together and building together and stopping the people from stopping people from fighting and shooting. They've had the community to walk blocks and blocks and blocks to prevent them from shooting and fighting even more. And so they feel like that has made crime go down a little bit because of the community leaders walking around and making sure that they're protecting and serving our community. Now, the thing about it is, as far as conspiracy theory, I just don't jump to that conclusion all the time with things, you know, because it was just too much of a coincidence. Like, okay, the little girl that passed away, that was in the backseat of the car eating her McDonald's, she's just innocently in the car and she gets killed. And the uncle, I believe, he gets shot. So, I mean, hey, someone was targeting him. And the poor baby got killed. She was in the car. She got killed. Now, the other 2 children, I don't know their situations or even know of their situations to speak on it, so I won't.
Right.
All I do know, as far as the news goes, is that a stray bullet hit them and they're in the hospital as well. So it's just like, wow, 3 babies got hurt within a week of each other. You know what I'm saying?
It's so sad.
So what is Minnesota doing to change it? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything. I hear the community coming together to change some things, right? But there is another thing though, that this weekend when someone was shot, the police officer shot the person that was doing the shooting.
Oh, okay.
And so that was great because they shot him in the leg.
Right.
Hey, that's better than anything. Make sure that they're still alive, you know? So that person, you know, took their job serious, not to be involved into any black and white crime or none of that. So, yeah, that's what I definitely see an eye-opener as far as like community and just people that want to hurt each other. For what though? It's like, if you're still hurting about money or talking about money, you should just sit down and have a meeting about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Meet the Shoe.
And we will be talking live, right?
Yep.
Talking live on the day of the Dereck Chauvin trial. Any questions, comments, or anything in between, hit us up, DM us on Instagram, inbox us on Facebook, or send us an email at meettheshu2019@gmail.com. Thank you.